Children love to play, and play is very important for their development. However, too much play without balance can have some downsides. Not because they say your child or play is very important for children. Children should play. You allow your children play from morning till evening. Or once they're back from school, they play all through. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you some of the reasons you shouldn't allow your child play without limit. Number one, neglect of responsibility. When a child plays too much, the child can neglect his or her responsibility. For example, when they're back from school, they play and forget to do their work, their homework, they forget to do their chores, they forget to even have some learning time. When a child comes back from school, yes, you can allow them play, but too much of play can even make them forget the things they learned in school. You can sometimes you hear parents say, "Oh, my child couldn't solve that mathematics," or "My child couldn't answer that question." It is not because the child wasn't attentive in class. It's not because the child didn't learn well in class. No, 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 no. When a child comes back from school and spends most of his or her time playing, there's a tendency that that child will forget most of the things he or she learned in school. Okay, so when I hear parents complain, "Oh, my child, they couldn't answer the question on our own or on his own," this is the reason. They play too much. They come back home and they spend their time playing, 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 playing. Even most of the time when they're leaving the school, their mind is already centered to play. So once they get home, they start playing, and you as a parent allow them to continue that play. They will definitely forget. By the time they sit to do their work, they won't remember most of the things they learned in school. Secondly, for their chores, they won't even, if you tell them, "Okay, when you come back from school, you are to sweep, or you are to mop, or you are to do one chores or the other," they won't remember. If you're not around to remind them, they won't remember. So you have to limit the way they play when they come back from school. This is very important if you want your child to do well in his or her academics. Okay. Number two, lack of routine or discipline. That's number two. These children that play a lot, they lack routine. They lack routine. You can tell them, "Okay, when you come back," they don't even have routine. So even if you tell them that you should do this when you come back from school, they won't remember. It is not there because what? Their brain is to play, especially the ones you allow to play outdoor. That's the worst. They play outdoor, they won't remember that they were supposed to they were supposed to do one or two things in the house. They were supposed to, okay, when you come back from school, you're supposed to do your homework, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to wash your socks, you're supposed to clean your shoes or wash your food pack, keep them clean, your water bottles against the next day. They won't remember. Why? Because their mind is already sent, especially when they have friends that they play with after school. So too much play without limits can make them lack routine and discipline. When a child is disciplined, the child has a way of following his or her routine. Like, come back from school, you do your work, you do your cleaning. That's a disciplined child. A child that knows that, okay, when I'm back from school, I'm supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that. So that discipline is not there. Because of what? Play. Too much play. So as a parent, you shouldn't allow your child play too much. That leads us to number three, which is physical exhaustion. This one, maybe I should have even started with this. Physical exhaustion. These children, after play, they are exhausted. They cannot focus. They can't do anything for themselves, let alone their parents or guardians. Too much play can make these children exhausted. You see them, they're already tired. When they're back from school, they play. After playing, when you tell them, "Okay, come do your work," their brain can't even come together. They can't remember anything. They're exhausted physically. They're exhausted. They are tired. You tell them to come do their homework. They're already snoring or even sleeping on their work. Not because they did so much work in school. No. That play, you allow them play, indulge, is really, really wrong. So please, it can make them have this time, even the next morning, to wake the next morning. If they play too much when they are back from school, they go to bed exhausted. In the morning, they wake up tired. They can't wake up feeling energized. No, you see them, they are tired, they're still feeling sleepy. They even go to school the next day and they sleep in class. Yes, I'm saying this from experience because I'm a part-time teacher. I go to different schools, so I'm telling you from experience. They come to school, they are tired, and sometimes I ask them, what did you do at home? They can't tell you they did anything, but it's just what? Play. So whether they're playing outdoor or they're playing indoor with their siblings or with their toys, and it doesn't change anything. Play is play. Play is play. So they can have physical exhaustion when they play too much. When children play too much, over time, it can reduce focus and attention span. I notice this in class. Sometimes you see children, when you're teaching them, they lack that focus. The focus, I'll keep calling their attention. Are you listening? You see other children paying attention, asking questions, answering questions, but this particular child is not focused. There is no attention. They're just waiting for the time they'll go home and resume play. Or if they have break time in school, they're just waiting for that opportunity to play. So too much play over time can just become a part of your child. And your child tends to play wherever they go. They visit someone, they want to play. They go out to the park, they want to play. They're at home, they play. In school, they must find something to distract them. It might be a pencil they are playing with. It might be their eraser they're playing with. It might be a piece of paper. It might just be something that they can't just give attention. They are not focused because of what? Too much of play. Another one is social imbalance. When a child plays too much, they tend to have social imbalance. They cannot socialize with other people. They are not sociable. It may sound very mild, but children that play too much have a lot of disadvantage. They're not sociable. Whenever they are out, instead of them to make good friends, they tend to make friends with only children that play. So any child that doesn't play is not their friend. If they see on any other child that decides to stay on his or her own, to them, it's, why should you stay on your own? Why is this child not playing? Something wrong with this child. They can't socialize properly. They're not sociable. That social imbalance will be there because they tend to want to play. They feel like play is everything. Every child must play. Everywhere we go, we must play. And that's not how it's supposed to be. So what should you do instead? Encourage a balance between play, learning, family time. This is very important. There should be a balance. Okay, when you're back from school, after your lunch, you play 30-40 minutes. After that, you have your bath, you sleep. That is the rest. And that rest is very important for their brain development. You rest, and then family time. Family time can just be you asking the child, how are you? How was school today? What happened in school? Can you tell me what happened with your friends? Just that family time can just help the child. All right? So you have to encourage balance between play, learning, rest, and family time. Set time limits for screen time and games. This particular one should have time limit. Screen time when they want to watch their cartoon or their favorite TV channel, games, their video games, their toy games or whatever, there should be a set time for it. Oh, 30 minutes of play, 40 minutes of play, it's okay. Include educational or creative play in their routine. It's okay, we're going to learn spelling today, no play, spelling. And you try to ask them to spell words, maybe words of 2 syllables, words of 3 syllables. You can just tell them to spell words. That way, you've actually included learning in their playtime. Teach them the value of work, rest, and responsibility. Teach them. Teach them, parents. Teach them the value of work. Teach them. Teach them. Teach them the value of what? Responsibility. Some children are not responsible. Sorry to say, they are not. They can't do anything. They're not helpful. They're not responsible on the little things you want them to do for you. And you're making excuses. You're saying, oh, okay, he's not supposed to. Oh, okay, he's not supposed to. No. Teach them the value of rest. Rest is important for their brain. When they're trying to tell you, Mommy, I don't want to sleep, I want to play, I want to tell them, no, go and rest. Sleep is for rest, and rest is very important for your growth. I hope you've learned that too much of play is really, really not good for children, even though it is also good for their development. But too much of it can actually have a lot of downsides. And I know as a parent who is responsible, who wants the best for their children, will not want their children to play too much and lack all these values that I've listed today. If you know you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Please click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can always see my video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I remain Coach V, and I'll see you on my next video.